All right, folks, welcome to Donald Trump, the Antichrist, Part 13. We're going to do it through the movie Skyfall. What they've shown me in Skyfall and what I will show to you and prove to you, I mean, beyond any doubt, is that at least this movie Skyfall, James Bond is showing you that he is Donald Trump by going back to his roots in Scotland, where, of course, Donald Trump's roots are in Scotland. Donald Trump's mom was born in Scotland. And James Bond goes back to his roots, where his mom also was in Scotland. And, of course, Bond was too in this case, Trump differently. But this is, again, going back to Scotland, to his roots. So let's just leave it at that. He is going to have a wound over his right eye. The movie has 666 implanted in it. James Bond talks about resurrection. We know that the Antichrist, Donald Trump, will receive a deadly wound, but did live because the wound will actually be to a clone. But James Bond, when asked what is his hobby, he says resurrection. And of course, that's the whole thing that the Antichrist, that's the whole deal. I mean, other than performing the abomination that causes desolation after he's risen, seemingly risen from the dead, because it'll be a clone that takes the hit. So none of these, yes, one thing could be a coincidence, but what we're going to try to do is show you that all of this together is not a coincidence. So stick with the whole video and possibly watch it twice. I will tell you that is how it's all done by the Lord, but it was through repetition. I watched Donald Trump, the Antichrist. They just took it down. It was by Angel White, Born Again. There's Angel White, Born Again. And I watched Donald Trump, the Antichrist, is Reborn, I believe was the name of it. I bet I watched that 10 times. And that's what really helped me. And then many other videos I've watched numerous times, and that helps you start to, gives you discernment, helps you understand what it is you're watching, especially when you're watching a movie. So I had seen Skyfall 2 or 3 times, maybe 4, but I watched it again now knowing what I know about Trump and so forth, so that when I watched it again, I was blown away by everything I was seeing. So the opening, let's go ahead. I want to read the lyrics for you first, and then I'm going to play the video that Adele performed as it appeared in the movie. I'm going to have to chop it up, like rewind a little bit, go forward, rewind a little bit, because if not, I'll get a copyright strike. They won't even let this play on YouTube. I'm probably going to get a copyright strike, but because I don't monetize my channel, but at least it'll play. That's all that matters. All right, now this is Satan speaking to his flock. Remember, it's a broad way to be, ye are of your father the devil, as Jesus said. It is of the broad way. It is by far the majority. At times I say 99%. 99 out of 100 people are of the broad way. It might be more than that. It could be 99.9. 1 out of 1,000 are of the broad way. So Satan knowing that this is who is handed over to him. And just to give you an idea, if we go to Matthew, when God sends the world a strong delusion, thou shalt rise false Christs and false prophets, and they'll be doing lying signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Everybody's going to be fooled. Everybody's going to be tricked. Everybody's going to be handed over to this, except the very elect of God, which are the chosen few of the narrow way. See my Bible studies on that. So Satan is telling you And he's telling the people that have joined clubs and organizations that fall in line that Lucifer is light. He's actually telling them cryptically, we don't win. And he's thanking them for coming along for the ride, that he couldn't have done it without them. Because, of course, he needs the applause, which was what that song, Applause was about, from, oh God, what is her name? Lady Gaga. All right. So here it goes. Skyfall, Adele. This is the end. This is talking about the end times, by the way, when the sky is falling. And they're giving you the sky falling. See, the sky is falling? The sky is falling. The sky is falling. There's the buck. And we have the buck full moon coming up, which is following the solar eclipse. I don't know if Obama's going to get popped or if Trump's going to get popped. I think somebody's clone is going to get popped, possibly right at this full moon. And it might be Obama to throw everybody off. And then Trump would come along and be assassinated later on, which would create martial law and then World War III. But you see, the sky is falling. Sky is falling is actually two words, and they actually break it up into two words at the actual Skyfall location in the movie. But of course, the movie, it's all one word, just Skyfall. But you can tell it's talking about the sky falling with the opening credits. Okay, and we'll get back to those later. I just wanted to show you that the sky was falling. This is the end. And if you want to know where that is in the Bible, let me show it to you real quick. I will pause this just briefly. All right, and there's other Bible verses that speak to it too, but let's just read this one. And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when it is shaken of the mighty wind. So, and this is at the end times. This Revelation 6. The Bible is written in Revelation is written in sections. So you've got the Antichrist in Revelation 6 and Revelation 13. And you have what comes after the Antichrist, which is the Lord's return after each time, like in Revelation 7, and then in Revelation 14, 15, and so forth. So just so you know that. Now we know that Donald Trump has received his corona 11 verses earlier, as the Antichrist receives his crown. Corona means crown, and that's what's been taking place now. So let's go ahead and go through the lyrics. This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. Feel the earth move, and then hear my heart burst again. For this is the end. Now, Satan writes song lyrics. Satan writes movie scripts. Satan does all of your animation through the ghost in the machine. And I do some YouTube videos on this. You definitely want to watch both of AI is the Ghost in the Machine, Mark of the Beast. This is on my playlist. And when you watch them, great, it's going to be Artificial Intelligence is the Ghost in the Machine, Mark of the Beast, and Lucifer, the Ghost in the Machine, AI. And they showed you that in the movie Lucy. So I really detail that movie. So writing these lyrics is Satan, and Adele is doing the performance. She might not even know what she's reading in its entirety. And again, she might. For this is the end. I've drowned and dreamt this moment. And of course, God wrote this in the book of Revelation. Satan knows the Bible to and fro. He knows what's coming. He knows he doesn't win. Of course, people have been misled who are running this world and joining these organizations and so forth. They've been led that Lucifer is light, that Lucifer, that they will win, that they don't even think the Bible is real, actually. So overdue I owe them, swept away I'm stolen. And he's talking about those that have given their love to him, which is, again, 99.9% of the world, even if they don't know it. When Jesus said, "Ye are of your father the devil," that is everybody that's not his preordained, predestinated sheep. Let the sky fall. Let it. Let it. Let the sky fall. When it crumbles, we will stand tall and face it all together. Let the sky fall. When it crumbles, we will stand tall, face it all together at skyfall. Now, see, they put it in one word there, but I will show you that they actually broke it up into two separate words cryptically. All right. At skyfall is where we start. So when the sky is falling, he's saying that's where we will begin. 1,000 miles and poles apart, where worlds collide and the days are dark, because the Lord's blackened out the sun, remember? I'll show you that Bible verse. Hang on. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened. Where worlds collide and days are dark. So I think you got enough clues now to where you know that's what this is talking about. You may have my number, 666. You can take my name, Satan, Lucifer, but you'll never have my heart. So Satan is saying, no, Lord, I will never love you. Let the sky fall. When it crumbles, we will stand tall, face it all together. Let the sky fall. When it crumbles, we will stand tall, face it all together at sky fall. Where you go, I go. What you see, I see. I know I'll never be. I know I'd never be me without the security of your loving arms. See, because the Lord has handed. Satan couldn't be Satan if the Lord didn't hand him all of those that belong to him when Jesus said, "Ye are of your father the devil." Boom. He's the prince of this world. Boom. He couldn't be Satan without it. People being handed over to it. Keeping me from harm, put your hand in my hand and will stand. Let the sky fall. When it crumbles, we will stand tall, face it all together. Let the sky fall. When it crumbles, we will stand tall, face it all together at sky fall. Let the sky fall. We will stand tall at sky fall. Let's play it. I'm going to have to chop it up for you a little bit so I don't get the copyright strikes, okay? Don't be annoyed by it. I will put it in the comments. You can listen to the whole thing yourself. Agent down. So Bond is taken down. She's mad. She's the one that called for the shot. And he's floating down a river. Song begins. This is the end. Turn it up a little bit. Well, maybe it's loud enough. I don't know. Hear my heart burst, earth move, and then leave, for this is the end. Oh, so overdue, so overdue. Sorry, I wanted to turn it up a little bit for you. Not sure how loud it is. Now you see the stags come into view right there. One-eye symbolism. Notice he's looking out of his left eye when they zero in because his right eye is taken out. Skyfall is where we start, poles apart. Skyfall is say my name. You may have my number. You can take my name. See the face, skeletal face. So you get the idea there. What I'm going to show you is that in I Pet Goat, Bond goes through This is my video, Skyfall, iPet Goat 2. And this is their video of iPet Goat. I'm going to show you that Bond goes through an Antichrist ritual exactly like they do in Skyfall. Well, I shouldn't say exactly. I'm setting myself up for failure. Now, this is, of course, computer animation by the Ghost in the Machine, music and everything, all sounds. Satan has made this video to show y'all what will come at the end times. The beauty of this video is you can see that that's Donald Trump sitting there with his upside down pyramid that we've shown you in parts 1 through 12. I'm sure I've shown that to you many times. And there's the stag, the rebirthing. The stag sheds its horns and they regrow. And of course, this is the eclipse that just took place. And I just heard that Trump had his first re-election rally, and he did it on a Sunday because he did it on the eclipse day. Why wouldn't you do it on a Saturday? But he did it on a Sunday because he wanted to do it on the eclipse. And I've been told that this stands for the eclipse. I can buy into that. And this is your buck moon right there. A rabbit is a buck. And of course, a stag is a buck. And the eclipse takes place, and then a full moon after a solar eclipse is a big day in their world. But anyway, so Trump's sitting, and he has the upside down pyramid that he always flashes. Then it rolls over to now there's a lotus plant, which is the rebirthing. And Trump took the Pope a lotus flower when he visited the Vatican, because it's all about rebirth. And you can see Obama is sweating. Now, I don't know if that means that Obama gets taken out first and that's why he's sweating. I'm not quite sure. But to cause the true chaos, you would think that Obama would be taken out first. And of course, a lot of the Trump people go, well, the Antichrist receives a deadly wound. We knew it was Obama all the time. That's what they'd be saying. Then, of course, when Trump gets taken out, they'll go, well, they just did that, you know, to confuse us into as retaliation for taking out Obama. And I'm going to show y'all through the, what is it called? Through the gematria, that a man killed in the movie, at the beginning of the movie, is named Patrice, and Patrice in gematria is equal to Barack Obama. And Bond kills Patrice. So I kind of think that Obama is going to come out first, even though, of course, it'll be a clone. But I need to show y'all that. See the flag torn? See the flag get ripped? So the American flag is torn in two. There's when your martial law is taking place, because I think Obama's been removed. Or maybe they've both been removed. Maybe they happen 1, 2, 3 days after another. I don't know. See, now he's going through the boat, and you're going to see Trump Trump, of course it's Trump, but you're going to see James Bond do the exact same thing. Play it and scatter it, sorry. So you see him traveling through the boat. Again, traveling through the boat. He's in a boat. Still in the boat. Still in the boat. I want to show you James Bond going through this boat. The exact, and he actually goes through a dragon's mouth. Now, I recorded this on my cell phone and I put it private on my YouTube. iPad goat on the boat after the fire. There he is. Riding on the boat. Guess what he is? Riding on a boat. Like, are you kidding me? There's the boat traveling right there. See the boat? Right there where my cursor is. So when I press it, you'll see it move. So riding on the boat after the. When you look at the look on his face, he's the iPad goat. He's the exact same. In iPad goat, he has the exact same look on his face that Bond's got. Which seems to be somewhat of a transformative glaze. Well, can't really find it for you, can I? There it is. Just sort of has his eyes closed. And so you see him like he's in a daze. Okay. And you see, he's just staring, just absolutely staring like he's in a daze. Now he's going to go through this dragon's mouth. Look at him in the boat, going through the mouth of the dragon. Because the dragon gives power to the beast, remember? Do I need to show you that Bible verse? Goes right through the mouth of the dragon. When I was watching, I couldn't believe what I was watching when I saw this the other night. Could not believe it. Look at that. You think this is by accident? I mean, oh, folks. Fireworks. Are you kidding me with the fireworks? Same exact thing in iPad Goat 2 with the fireworks. Sorry. There's the fireworks right there. There. See the fireworks? See the fireworks? They're telling you this is iPad Go. As hard as they can tell you, they're telling you that this is iPad Go. That James Bond is the Antichrist. He is Donald Trump. And just like Trump's roots are in Scotland, James Bond goes back to his roots at a place called Skyfall in Scotland, which is where Trump's mom was from. See the mark over his right eye? They purposefully, now from the back view, show you him going through the mouth of the dragon. So this is no, see the mark over his right eye? He has that throughout most of the movie, because the Antichrist receives a mark over his right eye. Going through the dragon, the transformation, possibly death. So he's arriving on the boat. There he is, perfectly centered through the dragon. And the dragon gave power to the beast. Whoops, screwed that up. Try it again. And the dragon gave power to the beast. Bible verse. Should be Revelation 13.
According to BibleRef.com,
and they worshiped the dragon, which gave power to the beast. So the dragon is who, and the Antichrist, Trump right there, just went through the dragon, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who's like on the beast who was able to make war with him? And when you go to Revelation 13:3, and I saw as if one of his heads were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast, and they worshiped the dragon, which gave power to the beast. Okay, so we've gotten rid of Skyfall. You understand that. You get it with the I Pet Goat. You get it with the Adele. You get it through the lyrics. Again, with Zechariah, woe to the idle shepherd that leaveth the flock. The sword shall be upon his arm and upon his right eye. And when I Google that, I just say, Antichrist receives a wound over his right eye, Bible verse. And they give you Zechariah 11:17 by me saying the word Antichrist. So you can do your research, but that's out of BibleHub.com. And it says St. Jerome expounding the verse of Antichrist. My middle name's Jerome. When I was Catholic, I'm not Catholic now, folks. I think y'all know that if you followed my, but so if you've been following me, then you know I'm no longer Catholic. I expose Catholicism. So we've gotten rid of that. It seemed like there was something else I was going to show y'all. I can't remember what it was. Now, this movie also speaks to the ghost in the machine. Now, the car he drove out to Skyfall has 216, and everybody knows that 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. 6 times 6 times, I'll give you all the numbers that mean 666. Obviously, 666 does. 18 does, because 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. 6 times 6 times 6 is 216, and 36 also is. Because how does that work? Let's have some experts explain it to us. If you, I forget how it goes. 666 equals 36. When you add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10, all the way and finish at plus 36, that equals 666. So they call that a triangular number. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, all the way to 36. comes to 666. So his car has 216 on it. And I just saw a post the other day about COVID or something, you know, where it said like, or wearing a mask. It said 180,000 or 1,800,000. So it had 18 in it. But if you wear a mask, it had 33. 33,000 won't. So, and of course, 33 is their coded number in their world. That's a long story. I think a lot of y'all know that what the 33 means in their club world or in their world of the club. 216 on the car. They get out and she says, Christ. And of course, Antichrist. I think her line was, Christ, I can see why you moved from here. But first she just says Christ, because I watched the movie with subtitles, and when I take the pictures, it's with the subtitles on the screen. So she goes, Christ, and they just show you Christ. They don't give you the whole sentence. And then after that, I can see why you moved from here. But Christ to show you Antichrist. I guess I got this in here. Don Drumpf comes to 666 in Gematria. So, and Drumpf was the family name before it was changed to Trump to fulfill the other prophecy of coming in his own name, the little horn of Daniel 7, a trump is a horn and a horn is a trump. So he's hearing his own name, Donald Horn, or the little trump of Daniel 7, or reverse the names. Reverse the words. Going through the subway tunnel, there was the 666 right there, of course, with the 9s, interestingly enough, on each side. Apollo led in his chariot by Aurora. That's in Trump Tower. And of course, the Aurora building was in the Dark Knight and is also in this James Bond movie. This Aurora building is right there in Shanghai. There it is. There it is. And then the Aurora movie theater shootings in Aurora, Colorado. For the Dark Knight, there were 12 skeletons, 12 representing the church. Aurora building showed during the Batman movie, and there it is right there. Sorry that it's not plain to see. Aurora building shown in the Dark Knight. It's taking me to that. There's the Aurora building right there. The Lone Wolf graphic art technologist for conspiracy, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Same building. That's the same one shown in the... Yeah, they're really wanting to, when I Google that, because you put Dark Knight with Aurora, it's the Aurora, Colorado shootings. But see how they tied all of that in. So how can I search that? Aurora building, Shanghai. And then I'll just key in Dark Knight. There it is. There it is in the Dark Knight. And we're just now looking at it in the James Bond movie. Same building. That's mind-blowing. So Skyfall, they're showing you that it coincides with I Pet Goat. They're showing you the Dark Knight. And of course, Trump is the billionaire from Gotham, or the billionaire from New York, Gotham, fighting crime. QAnon, children go under the city. And the Dark Knight Rises, the children go where? Under the city, where Bane is. So, yeah, I know, it's pretty freaky. Everything they do in movies, I believe the Ghost in the Machine writes these movies. I think that's how everything has that type of synchronicity in it. So where was I? This was the Aurora building. I snapped this from the Skyfall movie. So there you go. And I snapped that one, or I took that one off of a Google search and saved it from the Batman. Shooter, Joker, James Holmes. I don't know if anybody was killed. Maybe they were, maybe they won't. It's so hard to tell whether things are staged or not. Batman Theater shooting. Of course, Sandy Hook, that is shown in The Dark Knight. And of course, I do believe that was completely staged. Aurora, again, is the Greek goddess. And in Trump Tower, Apollo is Satan, and it's led by Aurora, which is why they had the shootings in Aurora and why they've showed you the Aurora buildings in both movies. Trump was born on the year of the dog, which is why they worship Sirius, the dog star. 1946 was the year of the dog. Now, when you search James Bond, you get leap year, you get election in Gematria. Gematria, a 2,000 to 3,000 year old language converting letters to numbers, which they use in their world. That's how they code things. And the Lord allowed us to understand it, to figure out that Don Trump comes to 666. It's the number of a man. Here is wisdom. Well, my name is Eve, she says. Eve, of course, the Garden of Eden, and of course, Eve. At the end of the movie, she refers to herself as Eve. Of course, Eve from the Garden of Eden. Wound over the right eye from Donnie Darko, the spirit that is following Donnie Darko, which stands for Donald Darkness. Wound over the right eye. And of course, we'll show you bonds. What is all of this? Well, this man who was running the show in the movie, the bad guy, the villain, was doing it with a computer, supercomputer, which they're just showing you Ghost in the Machine technology, that the computer is what runs things. Because Ephesians 6:12 said it's not flesh and blood enemies you have, it's principalities, it's rulers, it's spiritual wickedness in dark places. It is the fallen angels or the demons that are in the machine. They are the ghost in the machine. Ghost in the Machine was the name of an album by the Police in 1981. I do videos on all of this, so if you want to know, just ask. So this all computer, that's all what that is. She says, he made them think there was a leak at the chemical plant, like they're making you think there's a virus. He made them think, see, everybody abandoned this island because through his computer, through his technology, he made them all think there was a leak at the chemical plant. They abandoned it almost overnight, just like everybody, almost overnight. They accepted losing their jobs, wearing masks, being locked into your homes, do not move. It's amazing the panic you can cause with a single computer. She's telling you this is all done by the ghost in the machine. By the way, James Bond also comes to Gnosis in Gematria. Last rat standing. I need to bring that up for y'all, don't I? That was something I didn't prep. Hang on just a second.
My grandmother.
All right, so he's coming to Bond. He's going to tell him the story about the rat. Now I'm going to have to chop this up for y'all, okay? So I don't get, so this video will actually play.
Had an island. Nothing to boast of. You could walk around the table. Begin to get hungry. You just leap. Throw the drum into the ocean.
Okay, so he's telling the story about the rat.
Grandmother showed me. We buried an oil drum and hinged the lid. And we wired one summer. Visit and discovered the place.
For one summer, we came to visit and discovered this place. Let me see if it'll keep giving me. And discovered the place had been infested with rats. It come on a fishing boat and ghost themselves on coconut. That does say ghost themselves. I don't know why. Boat and ghost themselves on coconut. So do you get rats? How do you get rats off of an island is what he's saying. My grandmother showed me we buried a drum, an oil drum, and changed the lid. Then we wired coconut to the leader's bait, and the rats would come for the coconut. They were falling to the trap, and after a month, you've trapped all the rats. But what did you do then? Throw the drum into the ocean? Burn it? You just leave it, and they became to get hungry, and one by one, they start eating each other. So the rats start eating each other until there are only two left, the two survivors. And then what? Do you kill them? No. You take them and leaves them, it says leaves them into the trees. But now they don't eat coconut anymore. Now they only eat rat. You have changed their nature. The two survivors, this is what she made us. I made. This is what she made us. I made my own choices, he's saying.
I had coconut to the leader's bait. And after a month, what did you do then? Burn it? No. To get hungry. We start eating each other, survivors, and release them into.
Well, folks, 2020 is the year of the rat. So he's telling us that this is the year we will start eating each other. Last rat standing. In other words, they're going to bring everything down. They're going to bring the country down after these two assassinations. So James Bond also comes to leap year and election, which is what we're in now. In Gematria, that's what James Bond comes to. Also comes to Michael Obama, which Barack Obama has mistakenly called Michelle Obama Michael twice. The Purge, election year. And by the way, the same could be said for Trump's wife. The Purge, election year. Here we are in an election year. Rat, 2020 is the year of the rat in Chinese. When he's asking him, he was talking about the computer, and he said it was his hobby, and he told about all the little things he was able to do with his computer. He asked Bond, what's your hobby? And Bond said, as Donald Trump, as the Antichrist, resurrection. That is not by accident, folks. The Antichrist will seemingly be risen from the dead. Remember, receives a deadly wound, but did live. It never says that he is resurrected. Why? Because he really isn't. It'll be a clone that is taken out. It'll be a staged event. There's the wound over his right eye. There's the wound again over his right eye in the movie. Welcome to Scotland. This is towards the end of the movie. Skyfall, Scotland is a spectacular Scottish Highlands location. Again, secret agent returning to his Scottish roots, it says right there. Now notice the Skyfall with the stag that we showed you in iPet Goat had the stag right behind Trump. Notice how Skyfall is separated, two separate words, sky, fall, because it's really about the sky falling in Revelation. It's not one word like it is in the movie. See how it's broken right there? This is not by mistake, folks. Nothing is by mistake. Sky, fall. Everything is very cryptic. At Skyfall, the stag starts to fall apart. Stags are up there. Previous one, they fell apart. Well, there it falls apart. There's the dragon again. That was in the opening credits. The skeleton that we showed you earlier. Skyfall and James Bond filming locations. Visit Scotland. How to find James Bond Skyfall location in Scotland. Again with the stag in the opening credits with the cross. With the cross, Antichrist. Christ, Antichrist. The stag, rebirth. Stag, cross, Antichrist. Fake Christ, cross. The stag. There's the stag over Trump in the iPet Goat 2. By the way, iPet Goat 2 came out in 2012. When I key in iPet Goat 2 Heliofont, you go to their site. This is Heliofont channel. This came out July 3rd, 2012. Well, of course, they already knew Trump would be the president. I mean, they knew because your elections are not real. Notice it's July 3rd that it came out. Does Trump get assassinated on July 4th or July 5th? That's what you have to be weary of. Or Obama. Or does something happen to Trump and then later something happens to Obama? I don't know. But I do know something's going to happen to Trump. I'm not sure it'll happen to Obama. But I know it's going to happen to Trump. Because he's the Antichrist. He's a little horny. He's hearing his own name. July 3rd. Well, coming up July 4th and July 5th is that full moon. The stag moon. Excuse me, the buck full moon is called. The buck full moon. Also in the movie, he says, storm's coming. Which we know there's a storm coming, Mr. Wayne, from the movie The Dark Knight Rises. And of course, Donald Trump, when he poses with his generals and says, maybe this is about the coming storm. Or excuse me, maybe this is the calm before the storm. Maybe it's just the calm before the storm. Trump on the temple coin. James Bond comes to the Donald. That was actually right above it, so it was included. James Bond in Gematria comes to, not Jewish, but in English Gematria and simple Gematria, the Donald. James Bond comes to the Donald. Of course, Trump Tower, 5 multiple addresses, 721 through 725, which perfectly match the little horn of Daniel 7 in Daniel chapter 7, verses 21 through 25. Upside down pyramid of 6 by 6 by 6 bushes. The upside down pyramid stands for Lucifer, the moon goddess. Here's another temple coin. War of the Sons of Light. Remember, this is Star Wars. The light versus the dark. The Force can be used for good or bad, light or darkness, Lucifer or Satan. They're the same. That's why the Baphomet is transgendered. It has female breasts. The Baphomet does. So it's male and female. It is transgendered. War of the Sons of Light against the Sons of Darkness. That is what is on the coin. Lucifer is light. He is the light bearer. Again, Skyfall separated. And that's it. That's the end. If I forgot anything, I'm sorry. but I hope this answers all of your, and by the way, when we show you the James Bond and the gematria, James Bond, it's 498 and 83, right? 498 and 83. You go to the Gnosis, 498 and 83. Election, 498 and 83, 498 and 83. So James Bond and the Donald, leap year, election, and Gnosis. Gnosis. Knowledge, that's what we're all about. Lucifer gave man knowledge, along with Michael Obama. Interesting. So what else? I think that's everything. I think that's everything. All right, love y'all.